Welcome to SPA's Authors Academy podcast, and I am your host, Carol Rogers, and today we will be interviewing Miss Lisa, I don't know why I always call you Lisa, Linda Matthews, okay? Thank you for coming today, Lisa, and how are you today?
I am fine.
Well, that's good. That's good. Today we're going to talk about the SPA Writers Collaboration, and you have a story in the collaboration. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, I want you to tell me about yourself.
Well, I am Linda Matthews. I am a Christian wife and mother of 2 adult sons. I am a retired educator, taught for many years, 30 plus years. I come from a family of 6 children. I have 5 siblings. I am next to the youngest child. I'm number 5. I enjoy a lot of family activities, so that's why I mentioned my family. In the education field, I found my niche in the community college. I taught writing there for more than 20 years. So I knew I wanted to be an educator from the time I was very young, and I enjoyed my years teaching. I still do teach from time to time Bible classes at my church. I am very active during retirement. I exercise, I walk, I do home projects, keeping the house going. It's very, very busy, surprisingly.
Well, that's really good. You mentioned you taught writing. I did not know that. You taught writing.
Yes.
Oh,
English composition. Yes.
Oh, so it was like English 101 or 102 or something like that? Did you do any creative writing?
I didn't teach creative writing, but I do poetry writing and short story writing, skits.
Oh, okay. So is that what inspired you to want to write a book?
Well, I was inspired to write a book because number one, it's a God-given talent that I have. I have been writing since I was a child, love to read and write. And writing is just so powerful. It's a way to inspire, to uplift, to give people hope. Writing can change a person's life. So I was inspired just from the power of writing itself, as well as from my family. When my sons were toddlers, I wrote a book for them. Attempted to get it published because at that time in the late 80s, early 90s, there were very few, if any, African American boys featured in books. And I would take them to the library from time to time. I found it very frustrating. So I decided I'd write my own book.
Oh, okay.
And unfortunately, I never got that book published.
Yet. Because it's not too late.
But yet, I'm still working. That is one of my projects. I do want to go on and publish.
Good. So why did you choose the topic you chose to write in the collaboration book?
Okay, so my short story in the collaboration is called Binding Hearts. I was inspired to write that short story after I took a trip to South Africa. Some years back. I went there with a group of English teachers. We were a delegation from the United States. with the People to People organization.
Oh, I'm familiar
And
with them.
yes, and when we went over, we took books and we visited the schools there. We learned the culture there, debunked a lot of myths about Africa itself.
Africa.
Um, so that inspired me to write this love story, is
Okay.
actually what it is,
Mm-hmm.
about a young lady from South Africa and
Mm-hmm.
a young African American man, of course, from the United States. So,
So I guess the personal meaning that that story would have would be, tell me if I'm wrong, the fact that you saw very little stories with African American men in there. So, and then it may be because of your sons too. Is that correct? Or it didn't have a personal meaning or?
well, the fact that there are so many myths about Africa and South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and just to show that they have values very similar
Yes,
to ours. That
right.
people universally, when you meet people, we all have the same
Mm-hmm.
desires for love, for protection, for
Mm-hmm.
safety, and those values are universal. So it is something that thought would be delightful. And also, I plan to extend the short story into
Of course.
a novel
All
so
right.
that it will then begin to touch on to some of the issues that we all face as humans and how to
Right.
deal with them.
Right. Well, what advice would you give someone that wants to start writing?
I would say, of course, organizations like SPA uh, is a great place to start.
Mhm.
There's a lot of information given uh, about how to write and how to write well, how to express yourself, and how to be confident with that. But one of the most important things I think new writers should have is a mentor,
Mhm.
someone whom they feel safe with, because
Mhm.
writing can sometimes be kind of fearful. The writer can be fearful to really fully express their thoughts. Someone
Mhm.
who they can bounce their ideas off of, someone who will listen to them and hear them and know them well enough and feel comfortable enough for them to be honest with them
Mhm.
and tell them exactly how their writing comes across to them. So
Mhm.
that I think is very, very important for someone to get started. Try to choose a good mentor, someone who they can help them along with their writing.
Oh, so how do you have any plans, say, soon to finish the book, or you started another story? Do you think you would self-publish or try to get published through an imprint, a publishing house?
I will probably choose SPA to help me to complete that story
Mm-hmm.
and get it published through
Mm-hmm.
SPA, just as the collaboration was published. I'm rather new. I believe I'm one of the newest members
Mm-hmm.
of SPA. I became a member just this January of 2021. So I'm
Oh,
still feeling my way to
yeah.
determine exactly how I would get everything published. But I did publish a book prior to coming to SPA,
Okay.
and I have it with me. This book is called Celebrating Food and Family. It's actually a cookbook. So what
Oh,
I did, as I said, I enjoy family a lot. So I just asked my family members to submit recipes to me.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband is from Louisiana. So
Ooh.
I wanted to get a lot of recipes from my sister-in-laws and my family in Louisiana, as well as my family that's here in the Chicago area.
So are there any recipes for shrimp and grits in there?
I believe there's a recipe
Louisiana.
with shrimps. I don't know about shrimp and grits, but
Jambalaya,
there are quite a few.
Creole. Yeah.
Jambalaya.
Yeah.
Yes, all of those recipes that my mother-in-law and my sister-in-laws and nieces and even one from my brother-in-law.
Oh, wow.
From Louisiana. So I have a jambalaya, I have a chicken gumbo, several recipes, seafood gumbo from that area. So that was very interesting. And it was a challenge putting it together.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do that for the family. Actually, it was a fundraiser. I used it as a fundraiser for one of our family reunions.
Okay. So where can we reach you? Email, social media? If someone wanted to get in contact with you, how could they reach you?
I would say the best way to get in contact with me is probably through my email address.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really big on social media, but my email address is lcgilmat@yahoo.com.
Well, thank you, Linda. See, I didn't say Lisa that time.
You're welcome. That's okay. That's in honor of my sister. I have a baby sister named Lisa.
Yeah. Well, again, I want to say thank you for coming today and allowing us to interview you. Tell us the name of your story again in the book so people can look for it.
My story, the title of my story, and Live Your Best Life.
Exactly.
Is Binding Hearts.
Binding
Hearts. It is
Hearts.
the first story in the book.
All right now. Yes. Okay. And if people wanted to get your cookbook, they can email you at that. And then they can email you and get a copy of it.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for coming today. Again, this is Linda Matthews. She is the first story in the latest SPA collaboration, Live Your Best Life. And I am your host, Carol Rogers from SPA Authors Academy. And hopefully we will chat with you soon. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.